Hello, what's going on YouTube? This is J Money here, and I'm bringing you guys a video. It's been a while since I've done any test hands, but this one's going to be for Plant Ftk, and this is a deck that I was really wanting to play if we ever got Needle Fiber and Jasmine, both in Flames of Destruction. And then Dandelion had to turn around and get itself banned, and I thought, well, I'll just scrap the idea. I just like plants. I really love plants and what they're capable of doing, and they're like really awesome. But you know, then I started thinking of other ways I could potentially play this deck, and I came up with a few ideas, and I'm wanting to bring these ideas to life to have more eyes and more innovation, because I really want Plant Ftk to be a thing, because I love plants once again. And I like degenerate ass shit like FTKs. But anyway, you're gonna want to take a look. You need Angelica for the Brilliant Fusion target, but I also play one copy of Jasmine, because if I do draw Angelica, I can use its hand trap effect and pitch it to the graveyard and gain life points and trigger the Plant Link Monsters effect to actually search. So it gives you extra utility there. I play Balbaboons because this is another way to put multiple Link Monsters on the board. We lost our advantage of normal summoning Mathematician to dump Dandelion to get it that way. Now we have to play other cards like Dragonic Diagram, which is actually surprisingly not that good. It's actually pretty, actually has dual utility, but we'll come back to that later. The 3 Evil Thorns, you kind of need them because it puts 2 more plants on the board. And, you know, it can also fuel Jasmine. Global, because it's a tuner, you can summon it off Needle Fiber, and you can mill cards, you can potentially put other plants in the grave to summon. 3 Lone Fire, it's self-explanatory. The Wind True Kings, Connection Cluster, that's your win condition. You need your Predator plants because it puts multiple plants on the board to get to the Link Monster. 1 Rose Lover, because it's actually useful for some of the cards I actually decided to put in here. I needed to fill up space, so there's that. Spore, another tuner, level 1, 1-for-1 target. Chair, this is what I'm playing. I'm playing some Sylvans. I'm playing a very small Sylvan package that's actually surprisingly good at fueling the graveyard and accessing more plants and summoning things out of the deck, summoning things out of the graveyard like Lone Fire to get more plants from the deck. And it's actually good. So I play 1 Sheriff Sprout, 1 Hermitry, 1 Marshall Leaf, 1 Peacekeeper. 2 of the Water True Kings, I played 3 Wind because that's the most important one, because it equals 2 of these when you pop it off of a diagram. So that's why I have that at 2 and the Wind one at 3 copies. We're looking to win the game on our very first turn, whether we're going first or second. So, you know, World Carryweight Champion, it gets cards out of the hand that you might want in the graveyard, and it's a dark target for Curios. Curios is fairly important in this deck because you want to get your Phoenician Cluster to the graveyard for the FTK for the burn. 1 Brilliant Fusion because we're fighting for space, and you really don't want to hard draw Brilliant Fusion in this build. You want to dig it out. It's a lot better that way. 3 Diagram because it pops the Bobaboons and it stacks your hands. So it gets the Darling Cobras out, it gets the Garnets out. Really good. Foolish Burial in case you're not able to get to your Curios and you've been disrupted along the way, you can still get your Phoenician Cluster to the grave and do some cool things. 3 Instant Fusion for, you know, something I want to go into a little bit later as I get to the extra deck. Monster Born, self-explanatory. We play 1 Mount Sylvania because we're running enough Sylvans to where, and enough plants to where all of these Sylvans, when we start excavating plants, they go to the graveyard. But it's actually better to stack more, even one of these just to get effects off, just to keep your stuff going and net extra advantage. And you really, though, just 1 copy is more than enough because we have 3 terraforming. And for our Instant Fusion target, we are playing Millenniumizer Strict. It's actually another form of Designator from the grave, and it reads, When your opponent activates a monster effect, it's a quick effect that you can target an effect monster your opponent controls or in the graveyard. So if they toss an ash to the grave, you can immediately respond to it and take it. And it gains the attack and defense equal to the stats. And the monsters with the same name as that monster equipped cannot attack and their effects are negated. So it's literally like another designator, and it protects you from hand traps. We play the Akashic because we need the dark target. Jasmine, all that good jazz. Now I do want to end up taking out this Ib and throwing an Underclock Taker because there were some test hands where I actually needed where I had to go into Link 2 to make space, and I could have immediately went into Curios if I had an Underclock. So, with that being said, Underclock Taker, welcome to the deck. But anyway, on to the rest. We have our Curios. It's our main enabler for the FTK because it gets Phoenician Cluster right out of the deck. Firewall because it's Firewall. Link Rebo, it's a dark. Proxy Dragon because it's super generic. Top Logic for the actual FTK. Skull Dread to fix hands. We've actually sometimes need to clear up space to keep going. This 1/7 Princess Sprite. Princess Sprite is actually surprisingly really good in this deck. Because not only are you playing Sylvans, you know, you can stack some things with Mount Sylvania, you can stack Chira Sprout and get Hermitries from the deck after you excavated and all that stuff, but you can also stack other plant monsters that aren't Sylvans and summon Sylvans out of the graveyard like Hermitries and Peacekeepers and all that stuff. So it's actually really, really good in this deck, and it really enables your combos, and you have a lot of level 1 targets in the form of, you know, Peacekeeper, Chira Sprout, Spore, Rose Lovers generally in the graveyard, Glow Bulb, and this Angelica. You can bring this out and all that good jazz, and summon your Sylvan Princess Sprite, and it actually gets in there. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and get some test hands. We're going to go ahead and draw our 5. Get that out the way. Okay, so this is actually pretty solid, and this is a really, really solid hand. And I can't really, I wouldn't want this any other way, really. So for starters, I'm going to go ahead and, we're going to play our Instant Fusion. And we're immediately going to summon our Millenniumizer Strix, so we are now protected against any and all hand traps. Because that is what we want. We don't want hand traps ruining our day, now do we? Now, we're going to activate Diagram, and we're going to activate, and we're going to blow this up, and we're going to go ahead and add ourselves a True King. And now we're going to use a Wind True King, and we're going to add another water. Now we're going to go ahead and use our Predaplant Scorpio. We're going to toss this to the grave. And we're going to go ahead and summon our Darling Cobra. Now Darling Cobra's effect's going to activate, and it's going to go ahead and add us that Brilliant Fusion that we need. Now from here, you are actually free to link away with this stuff, because we have now shielded the most important cards we needed for this. So from here, we're going to activate our Water True King. We're going to blow this up. And blow this up, we're going to summon. And we're going to use our True King water effect. When it's destroyed, you can summon a non-water worm from the deck and defense. So with that being said, well, it's going to get linked away. But for demonstration purposes, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and link these away. And we're going to summon our Romance Link Monster. Now we're going to play our Brilliant Fusion. Now, for future references, you might want to keep one of the True Kings in one of the zones, just in case Brilliant Fusion gets stopped so you can continue your combo. That's just a misplay on my part. But for demonstration purposes, this is what you want to do. So we're going to go ahead and send that, and we're going to send our Garnet. to the graveyard. And we are going to summon our Seraphinite to the field. Now, from here we are going to just go and sack it off. And we are going to summon all the lone fires, and we're going to get rid of every last one of them. Now, there it is. Now from here you want to summon your Evil Thorns because it gets you more cards. You're going to sack it and you're going to burn your opponent for 3. And you're going to summon 2 more from the deck. Now, we're going to go ahead and use our Angelica here. And we're just going to go ahead and straight up special this card. Because now we're in the lead. And this is banished when it leaves the field. So we're going to summon our Crystal Needle Fiber. And we're going to go ahead and summon our Glow Up Bulb. Like a mouse. Now, from here you're going to... We're going to link these. We're going to make Akashic. And then we're going to immediately mill. Let's go unshuffle though. We're going to mill this, and we just so happen to mill Spore. And we're summoning our Glow Up Bulb to the board. I should have summoned Link Rebo first, but this is exactly why we play Underclock Taker. For this reason right here. Where are you at? There we are. Now we have what we need, and we're going to link these 3, and we're going to make our Light Sword Dominion Curios. And we're going to activate the effect, and we're going to go immediately toss our Phoenician Cluster to the graveyard. Luckily, I just added that, so now we're going to activate Curios' effect again. We're going to mill 3, so we milled Martial Leaf, Balbaboon, and Princess Sprite. Now, if there's another way to summon another level 1 to the board, I would do that. I would, would naturally be Spore. But even if I banish level 1, it will become level 2. And that's not what we want, at that point. Because I would really want to summon out Princess Sprite and go again. But let's say I did summon Princess Sprite and I choose to Excavate. And you see, it wouldn't be all that bad, but... it just adds another name, it adds another plant name, and all that good stuff. So now we're going to link, or we're going to make our Topologic, and on the end phase, we're just going to revive our Phoenician Cluster. But let's see how many plants we got in the grave. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 14. All you need is 10. We got 14. That's more than enough. So that's a successful. That was a successful test, and even though I misplayed like twice, but I still managed to get it. Now we got this. We got this little weird. It's a little awkward hand, but it's nothing that we can't really work with. And all you need to do is get 2 plant monsters onto the board, and you need to be leading in life points. But if you activate Instant Fusion, you won't be able to do that. Let's see. There might not actually be a way to, there might not actually be the way to do so. You might just need to bust out a Martial Leaf. Oh, we got the Water True King. And it'll just search us another water. But we don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and summon our Martial Leaf, and we're going to Excavate 2. Because that could get us there. And it didn't get us there. So that's a bust. So we're going to go ahead and resume, and we're going to go and draw our 5. Now we got something pretty spicy here. So let's go and activate Diagram. We're going to hit this Balbaboon. We're going to add our Wind True King. Even if they ask, we have another Terraforming. So it was going to go off regardless. So our Balbaboon is going to summon us 2 more, and we're going to get some of these evil thorns out of our hands, so our hand's essentially fixed. But we might, depending on what we get, our next terraforming target actually might be Mount Sylvania, so we can start getting our advantage. So, deck shuffle, we're going to activate Balbaboon, we're going to draw. We're definitely bottom decking that. And then we're going to draw. Wow, 3 evil thorns in the hand. That's actually not that great. So we're going to go and throw this to the bottom. And this is probably only from the deck, isn't it? Yep, only from the deck. Alright. Knowing this, we're going to go ahead and get rid of this. And we're going to grab our Mount Sylvania. Because we're going to need it for later. So now we're going to go into our Romage Link Monster. And now we're going to go ahead and normal summon. And we're going to tribute this. And we're going to summon ourselves an Evil Thorn from the deck. Dealing some damage. Where are you at? There you are. Now, we're going to use the Link Monster. We're going to sack. And we're going to go through all of our Lone Fire Blossoms. Because that's what we need right now. Alright. You're getting in there, ladies and gentlemen. Send. Where's Lone Fire? Send. I think I saw it up top. Nope. There we go. Send, send, send. Mr. Orpher Scorpio here. We're going to discard this True King. We're going to get our Darling Cobra. We're going to add Brilliant Fusion. Instant. Where's Brilliant? Brilliant, 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 brilliant. There you are. Now we're going to activate Brilliant Fusion. We're going to go ahead and send our Angelina to the graveyard, and we're going to send. Where are you at? Where's Garnet? There it is. We're going to go ahead and summon our Seraphinite now. Now we're going to activate, and we're going to go ahead and summon our, use our extra normal summon, and we're going to activate, this, Angelica early. We're going to do this a little bit earlier because this is something we actually need to do at this point. Oh, I don't have a card in hand, though. It's a problem. The problem is I don't have a card in hand. If I had another card in hand, I would have used Mount Sylvania and stacked a Chero Sprout to the top of the deck. And I would have excavated it, I would have sent it to the grave, summoned Hermitry, and it would have been good. But you need cards in hand. Alright, but what can you do? I mean, I can make a Skull Dread and do it a little bit later. That can work. But we're going to immediately summon our Crystal Needle Fiber from the deck. And we're going to bust out this Glow Up Bulb. Alright. Now from here we're going to link this Glow Up Bulb. I don't think I want to. Yeah, I don't think I want to. Link. No, I do. I do. Link these two. Make our Akashic Magician. Make our Link Karibo. Now we can use these. And we are going to make our Curiosa Light Sworn Dominion. And we are going to immediately send Phoenician Cluster to the graveyard. And we're going to shuffle up and we're going to mill 3. And we just send a Caraway champion to the graveyard. Now we're going to use Glow Up Bulb. We're going to mill a card. And we're going to go ahead and special summon. Still have no card in hand though. And that's it's not too good. Now we can do a couple of things. We can make a Scoldite, or let's see. I mean, it will give us a card in hand, but we really want to get our Topologic on the board and do things. So we're just gonna straight up overlay and make a. We're just gonna add another name. We're just gonna add another name or another plant, and we're gonna go ahead and use it. We're gonna detach, and we're gonna excavate the top card. You know, it's added to our hand. You know, it gives us a little something, something. You know, and that's what we want, kinda. Now we have no ways to with this, you can also sack another plant monster on the board and summon a Sylvan out of the graveyard, but I don't believe I have any Sylvans regardless, so it's a waste of time. So we're gonna go ahead and link these into our Topologic. Now from here, let's go and take a look at our plants. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's already our win condition, but we got 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We got 15. That's pretty successful. Now, we're going to go ahead and just see our next opening. We're not going to play another one because of time, but look at this. This is beautiful. This right here is it's a beauty. Now from here, let's see. 3 Lone Fires would make 3. A Predaplant, a Scorpio, and a Cobra would make 3 because you're pitching a plant. Cherish Sprout is here. Foolish Burial is here. Instant Fusion is here. So we can actually go straight into Curios without doing all the shenanigans. So we're free to actually summon Thousand Eyes. In fact, you know what? We can probably play this out. Maybe. So if we make Thousand Eyes and all that good stuff. Let's see. Just real quick. I don't think I want to play the whole thing out. I just want to get a Curios on the board. So now we can ensure that these are going to go off. Because the hell with hand traps, right? But let's say they do ash you. You take the monster. You do all this. We're going to summon our Predaplant Scorpio. Toss this to the grave. Get our Darling Cobra. We're going to go ahead and add ourselves a Brilliant Fusion. Alright, now let's see, what can we do from here? I clogged up a zone. I should probably put this here. So we can go ahead and link this, or well, first off, we're going to activate Foolish first. Before we do anything else. What do I actually want to send in the graveyard though? I do want to send Glow Up Bulb. You know, do that first before, if your opponent is smart enough to not ash. At this point, we actually have a few things. So now we have our Link Rebo. And now we can go ahead and use Glow Up Bulb's effect. So we can go ahead and shuffle up. We're going to toss this to grave, and we just so happen to hit a Rose Lover to summon Glow Up Bulb. Now from here, we are going to link these two here, and we're going to make our Underclock Taker. following? So now from here, we can go ahead and make our Curious Lightsworn Dominion. Now from here we can activate the effect. We're going to go ahead and send this to grave. Now let's take a look at our grave. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You need to make 2 more, and with Burly Fusion, that's going to happen. And we got an extra normal summon, so we got this Cherry Sprout in hand, which is definitely going to happen. You know, lots of good stuff. I like this. You know, that was actually pretty good. So sometimes, even looking at ideal circumstances, sometimes it's best to try to go straight into a Curious to bait some stuff out. You know, so your Romage Link monster can stay. So that is it for these test hands, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Is there anything I could have added to make this better? Is there any potential plays that I could have done better? Let me know. What do you guys think about playing FTK in general? Because I love playing FTK. I like plants, and I'm glad to see that plant FTK isn't gone without Dandelion. So, thank you guys very much. This is J Money, and I'm signing out.